this shoulder towards the floor. Just allowing our head and neck to be comfortable, allowing that shoulder to press down, reaching and lengthening, being active in our pose, moving, but again utilizing our breath to get a little deeper. Really easy. Now exhaling again and drawing our hands back up, and this time we flow the half knot pose. Exhaling as we reach under, inhaling as we lift back up, exhale as we set our hand down. Inhale as we reach up, exhaling, threading our needle, inhaling, reaching back up and opening, and exhale, sitting our hand back down, and just flowing through, alternating sides. And moving with our breath, enjoying the twisting movement. Now sitting back into child's pose and just resting here for a moment, extending our fingertips long and just sitting back, gently pulling our fingertips against our mats, firming our shoulders in our sockets. Relaxing, sending breath to the low back and releasing any tension we may have created. Just breathing easy. Now this time drawing our arms alongside of our low legs as we move into more of a standard child's pose position. Preparing ourselves and getting ready for belly seal. We inhale, opening through the chest, moving into a back bend, allowing the arms to open. Exhale as we dive back down to child's pose. And again, flowing the movement. Inhale, opening the chest, back bending, and exhale, releasing back, child's pose. And working within a range that feels good and comfortable in your body. Now this time drawing our hands to our low backs, moving into a modified camel pose. Just listening and tuning into our bodies and noticing what feels good, how much sensation we're creating, keeping length through the front of the body. For more stimulation, we draw our toes under, reach back for our heels, and move more into the traditional camel pose. With our toes underneath, we created a little more space, making it a little less challenging than the standard pose, which I'm demonstrating now. This is with our feet flat on the floor, opening through the chest. Again, this is a deep back bend, so listen to your body and go to the place that feels good for you. Allow the head and neck to be relaxed and the neck to be long. Breathing easy, we inhale and exhaling. Now as we come out of the pose, supporting ourselves through our low back and then gently coming back down. And once again, restoring ourselves in extended child's pose. Now as we draw out of child's pose, we're positioning ourselves into what is called a T-stand or a modified side plank position. We lengthen our bodies out, making sure our knee and hips are aligned and our shoulder is directly over the hip as well. This is our T-stand, reaching, creating dynamic tension. Now gently moving into a gate pose, releasing our shoulder into our sockets and reaching towards the sky as we open through the side of our body. Again, inhaling and exhaling, allowing the opposite hand to act as support. But not a lot of weight in that hand. And this time we reach away from center. And we exhale, we come a little more into a side bend here. Noticing our shoulders are internally rotated. We send our gaze upward if that feels good on the neck, or feel free to look forward or down if that feels better. Just reaching and opening. and staying long out of our hip socket on our supporting knee. As we exhale, now we're gently placing our hand directly under our shoulder, aligning ourselves over our hip and creating a straight line. This is a modified plank position. Gazing upward toward the top hand if that feels comfortable. Strengthening and lengthening through the sides of our waist in this position. And just breathing and staying active, pushing out of our hip rather than sinking down. Now we're gently lifting up, and we're going to flow, moving into side plank. Reaching with our fingertips, and as we exhale, come up. Inhale, dropping down, and then exhale, coming up. The goal is, of course, to stay strong through the core and allow those oblique muscles to do this work. Okay? The goal is control. Now finding ourselves again in our modified side plank, we move into a modified balancing half moon pose. This will look like some Pilates that we have coming up now. We're gently performing little circles with our toes, again staying stable through the waist and core. So first in one direction, and then we reverse directions. Again, the ideal position is staying stable through the core, just letting that movement occur at the hip. Now we're swinging the foot forward and back, pointing the toe as we move forward, flexing the foot as we move back. Again, strong through the core as we perform the movement. Staying strong, pushing strongly out of that shoulder rather than sinking in. Then gently releasing the foot down, and now we'll flow. We move into our balancing half moon position, and then we exhale and move back up to our T-stand, and just flowing through this movement again with control, with purpose. Long through our bodies, supportive through our knee and through our hands. Now, staying in this position, we're gently threading the needle, moving into a modified mermaid. So side plank, threading the needle, and then lifting back up. Exhaling as we thread, inhaling as we open. And this could be performed as well from a complete side plank position. And that would make it more challenging. Now, moving into a modified push-up position, we gently lift to our toes and release back into downward facing dog. Let's just walk our dog, pedaling through one foot at a time, releasing the heels towards the mat. Swinging the head and neck through the arms, ears are beside the biceps, and we just hinge from our hips as much as feels comfortable. Breathing as we do this. Now we lift up to our toes as we inhale, and as we exhale, bending our knees a lot and drawing the chest even closer to the thighs. And then from there, extending through the heels and getting much deeper now in our down dog. Just releasing out the hamstrings. Now we exhale and move forward into a push-up position, lower into our push-up, and then gently bring ourselves back up. Exhaling as we move to downward facing dog. Flowing through, we inhale, moving to plank. Exhale, lower to the hover. Inhale, pushing back up to plank. And exhale back to downward facing dog. And just flowing those movements. Strong through our core the whole time. And this time, from plank position, rocking forward and back on our toes. Just taking a few of those, just to notice the sensation that provides. And then from here, we're gently going to raise one foot at a time, gently pointing the toe as we lift up, and just doing a little more work for our glutes, while at the same time staying strong and stable through our core. And again, being mindful that our hands and elbows and shoulders create one straight line, and we're staying as strong as we can through our core muscles. Now taking it back and resting once again in child's pose. Release